And we are live. Hello, everyone. Happy holidays.
Yeah.
We are here today. I have welcome to Life of a Home Cook, the holiday edition. And I'm Leona Dooley of Ebony, Ivy, and Thyme with Leona on YouTube. And my co host tonight is my sister, Denise Jordan of Homemaking with Denise.
Hello,
And
everyone. It's so good to see you guys.
yeah, Denise and I have been hosting those family gatherings for quite a while. And we've also been keeping our pantries stocked for many years.
Hmm.
And some of you may have been like us. I mean, over the years, sometimes we have experienced those years just before the holidays when we've had true abundance. And then we've had years that have been very lean.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so, because of that, we have been able to work through those and find some solutions and some tips. So, hello to Hillary, which is Ethel, and
Hello,
hello to
Ethel.
Kim's Rural Life. And she's coming to us from her Wisconsin farm. We're glad to have you tonight. And so we're starting this series tonight. We're going to share with you our 10 or more of our best tips for money saving holiday ideas, as well as we're going to be going into talking about things that we can do to stay money saving, time saving, and get us into the new year just right. So, we're going to try to start tonight. And if we find that all the good goodies that we have prepared for you, if it takes us into next week, woohoo, we get to see you then. So we're looking forward to that. Now, Denise, tell us a little bit about some of your plans. Talk about the channel, talk about Apron Diva. Just get into it.
Well, one of the things that we're looking at for the holiday season is, of course, family dinner. So I'm expecting family to be coming in for the Christmas season. I have a son that lives here, and I have family that lives away that'll be coming in. So I'll be hosting the family gathering for Christmas dinner. And one of the things that I'm going to be doing to try to keep the cost down for that is for the folks that live locally to ask them to bring something. So that will help keep costs down. So one of my sisters who makes the sweet potatoes, or the candied sweet potatoes, or candied yams, as some people call them,
Mhm.
one of my sisters will make that. One of my sisters is the potato salad maker. So she'll be making the potato salad to bring in. And then my daughter-in-law, who has a bakery, she'll be bringing the dessert. So, I'll have different people bringing things, and that just helps me to keep the cost down here. And then I already have a turkey and a ham that I picked up on sale when turkeys and hams were on sale. So I saved money that way by trying to plan ahead. And then as far as Apron Diva, one of the things that I want to do is 12 days of aprons. There's a 12 days of Christmas.
Mhm.
I thought, well, I'll do a 12 days of aprons, but we probably won't start that until next week. So we'll just be a little bit closer to the Christmas holiday because, aprons are perfect for holiday entertaining
Oh,
as
yeah.
gifts. And then, of course, to help keep you tidy while you're cooking and cleaning. And then as we look forward to the new year, one of the things that I will start the year off with, since most people are interested in decluttering and cleaning and organizing,
Mhm.
we'll start the year off doing some organizing for January. And if there's other things that people want us to do, me or you, they should let us know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, you've got a busy schedule already, it sounds like. I
Mhm.
know we're planning, my plans are to continue with our budget friendly and our money saving focus and to be able to take that into 2025 because it just seems like with the cost of groceries where they are, we we have people who are in situations where weather has kind of changed their lifestyle and things that they're doing. So
Mhm.
they're going to need more money saving,
Exactly.
budget friendly meals as well. So we're going to be doing those kind of things, as well as we're going to go through this kitchen and do a little bit of decluttering. Oh my goodness, I saw some things and I'm going, I
Well,
have.
you know what? It's really funny because I had to take the kitty to the vet today. And the first thing I did was I reached into a drawer and pulled out, guess what? A telephone book to look up the number. And then I thought, what the heck am I doing? I haven't used a telephone book in ages. And this telephone book was the Yellow Pages 2022.
Oh
So
my
granted,
goodness.
the vet that I was going to take him to was in there. But how many of you guys have a telephone book that you can use today? You know, we usually just pull up our phone and do a little Google search. So
Absolutely.
yeah, so definitely decluttering is going to be one of the big things on our minds as the new year starts.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well,
And
we've
Leona,
got quite
before
a
we get
few.
started,
Mhm.
another thing too is going to be preparing our pantries, our
Oh,
extended
yeah.
pantries. I know you've already been talking about getting our pantries ready, but we're going to have to look into having our homemakers and our home cooks try to get started with a 2 or 3 week food supply and then move ahead.
That's true. And meals that they can really make from their pantry. That's
Mhm,
important. It's
mhm.
not just putting things in the pantry, but you need to be able to make some meals with those things.
Exactly. And
You
I've been practicing with some of that.
know? Me too. Me too. Because I'm not always good at doing that. I just
Mhm,
go and get whatever we need. But as times are changing, and as you know, and I know those of you who follow my community page, you know that we went through a blip over the past week or so. And
mhm,
so those plans that I had for the next few weeks, I had to change those because the big guy is under the weather. And so I need to make sure
focus
that
on him.
that he's got what he needs. And, family comes first. We
Mhm.
just do what we have to do. But I'm fortunate that for Christmas, we usually go to my daughter's house. And sometimes I have to take something. But this year she said, Mom, she said, your plate's full. She said, don't even worry about it. I got it covered.
Mhm.
So, I'll probably take something anyway, but, I don't have to take something and
Yeah.
things will go on. So that's going to be fun.
What about the famous dinner rolls?
I think she's going to try to do them herself.
Really?
I love it. I love it.
I'm
So,
going to try to make your rolls for my family this Christmas too.
all right. All right. Well, you got that KitchenAid. So that KitchenAid is going to whip those rolls out very quickly. That really does save you a lot of time. So I am so glad to see all of you here with us. We've got as I said, we've got Hillary. She said, good evening and
Hello,
Merry
hello.
Christmas. We're so glad you're here. We have Kim from Kim's Rural Life. She's coming to us from Wisconsin. We have my blessed nest.
Carol,
Hello, hello.
hi.
Oh, so good to see you. We've got Judy's with us tonight. Hello. We've got
Hi.
Tamara, who's with us from Duncan
Yeah,
Party of Six.
hello.
Glad to see you. And Done Gone. Aw, thanks for bringing the holidays, ladies. That is so nice. Now, Done Gone, I don't know your name. And so if you'll share that with us. And we've got Grambles back tonight. He's with us.
Hey,
Hello,
Graham.
hello, hello. We're
He's
glad.
become a regular for you.
Yes, he has. I love it. I love it. So please, if you are new to the channel, please tell us your name and get comfortable because we're going to have a great time tonight and we're looking forward to it. Now, Denise, one thing as I found that as I was sitting in the emergency room and in talking to some people, you're trying to cheer people up as they're sitting there. And some of them are really struggling. They
Mhm.
are not happy about the holiday season. It's not so much that they're not happy about Christmas and the meaning of Christmas, that kind of thing, but it's just that everything else, life is down. It is down on
Life
the
is
bottom.
lifing.
It is. It is. They're struggling. Some of them, they said their money is funny. Some of them said that their health is not good, or their partner's health, or someone in the family, is having some health issues. Some of them have lost their jobs and they're having job issues. And so, I thought of the words holiday depression. And does that really exist?
Leona, it does. Holiday depression is a thing. And I thought, I knew that it did, but I thought just to be a little bit more, precise, I thought I would just look that up just a little bit. So you can go to like the Mayo Clinic, you can go to the Cleveland Clinic and a few places like that and look up holiday depression, and you can find some things associated with that. But one of the things that happen at the holiday time is that people just get overwhelmed with stress and also over commitment. So that was why I said that for my holiday dinner, I've made assignments to different people to bring certain things. And then, of course, there's a certain amount of financial strain that goes along with the holiday season because people feel like they have to buy all of these gifts. They have to prepare all of this food. They have to do this. They have to do that. And I'm sure we're going to get into it, but those are some of the concerns that they have. In addition to being lonely or feeling isolated, I know during COVID, when everyone was on lockdown that holiday season, I was a hot mess. Even though we gathered online and we did FaceTime, I could not put my hands on my children or my grandchildren, and I was a hot mess. And then there's something called seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, seasonal affective disorder. It has to do with the sun going down earlier. It's starting to get a little bit colder, kind of grayer, different things like that. People's circadian rhythms are different. And it can also lead to depressive syndrome. So those are things that people actually deal with during this season. And of course, people expect a Norman Rockwell Christmas. Now, for those of the really young homemakers, they're like, who's a Norman Rockwell? But if you see these pictures where you see these kind of old-fashioned pictures of families on the wall, they're at the dinner table, or you see somebody maybe at a doctor's office and a kid's getting a shot, but it was like this guy who captured pictures of the family lifestyle here in America. Or think about a Christmas card and what the kind of images you see on Christmas cards. People expect a Christmas card Christmas or a Hallmark movie Christmas. It's not like that for everybody.
No.
People are alone. So I remember at Thanksgiving time, you talked about if there's someone at work that that doesn't have a family that's close by and they're going to be alone, to invite them over. So I think that's something that we can do to kind of help other people ease into the holiday season. And I'm sorry to talk so long. You know how I am.
That's good. Well, that's good. But you've got the background to give us the info, and that's always great. So, we just have to be real, guys. The holiday can really take a toll on our wallets and our emotions. And
Yes.
even those of us who are fortunate enough to have jobs or have some type of retirement check or whatever it may be coming in, there may be times when those checks are not stretching as far as we think that they should. Are there other things that we have to spend that money on? So, I'd like to think that I really did plan well each holiday. But, even with the holiday sales, Denise, I have looked at my list and I've checked it twice, and I'm just not sure that I can afford to buy everything that's on my list. So I might have to adjust that budget. So tonight's show, we're going to share with you part 1 of our 10 best tips to save money and time this holiday and into 2025. So let's jump in. Now, those of you who are out there who are in the comments, and those of you who are waiting to get in the comments, is there anyone else who's finding that their dollars just aren't stretching far enough to cover the plans? Because, we all have that mental picture. So what do you do when that happens? So share with us in the comments, because there's probably somebody else out there who's in that same boat.
Well, let me just share something real quickly on it. And that's
Mhm,
like you were talking about situations coming up. Well, there's a couple different things that we've had going on in our lives, and I'm sure
mhm,
there's things going on with other people. But for example, one of my sons has something going on in his life that requires gift giving. So
mhm,
we've been working on, purchasing gifts for that. And
mhm.
then my other son, his birthday is today. So, his birthday is exactly 2 weeks before Christmas. So then there's a birthday gifts to give because you don't want him to be shorted because Christmas is coming along. So,
Mhm.
so we've got birthday gifts. And then, of course, you've got Christmas gifts. You've got all the family and different things like that. And then we had to take the kitty to the vet today, and it was $213 vet bill, which I was not anticipating. I won't tell you the look my husband gave me when they told us what the bill was going to be. But it was like, okay. So like I said earlier, life is lifing. There's things coming up. So the budget that I thought I was going to have for Christmas
Mhm.
has certainly diminished.
You
So
are
I'm going to be
absolutely right.
adjusting that budget, like you said.
Yeah, it's happening. It's happening, and it's happening so fast. Now, so tip number one, let's start with the menu. One thing for sure is that we need to plan our menus early. And when we do that, this isn't just about being organized. This is about giving you some emotional calm, a little
Mhm.
stress free moment, because at least you have the menu down on paper. It gives you a guide as to what you're going to be doing. It gives you a chance to share, as Miss Denise said. You can share that menu with everybody who's coming so that they can chip in and everybody's bringing something on that list or even make them a part of the planning of the menu. And it's all about being able to not only save ourselves, but save the cash.
Mhm.
Now, when you plan ahead, you can buy your ingredients on sale and you can avoid that last minute rush when the prices start to skyrocket. Because I don't know if you know, I have noticed that the sales that you get at Thanksgiving are not the same sales that you get at Christmas.
No.
I think the grocers think, well, you're focusing over there on the gifts. So they don't have to have as many sales. Where Thanksgiving is really more about the food. Christmas, they think is more about the gifts.
Mhm.
So, yes, there's lots of sales for the gifts, but there's not a lot of sales for the food. So, hopefully, you planned ahead like Miss Denise and I do too. I've got my turkey sitting in the freezer, got a ham in the freezer already. And so those, even though I'm not going to have to cook, but I will have to cook eventually.
Yeah.
And but those things are already in our refrigerators or our other pantries ready to go.
Well, and they put those turkeys on sale at Thanksgiving, and you've got to pick up two, one for Thanksgiving and one for Christmas, because typically those turkeys go off sale before
Mhm.
Christmas. And so then they're back up to regular price. So
Mhm.
it's a good idea to get two when you can. Even if you don't plan to cook that turkey for Christmas, you can cook it either for Easter or for some other family situation after that, because you just won't be able to find it that cheap any other time of the year.
No, you're absolutely right. I know I have purchased a ham at Thanksgiving and kept it until Easter purposely because I knew I was going to get a better price. So, another thing is right now is the best time to sit down and put together your grocery list. And that grocery list is going to cover, of course, your holiday itself, whether you're
Mhm.
celebrating Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, even New Year's, but to sit down and put those items that you're going to need down on your master list. And then, of course, I know we've taught you this, shop your pantries first and
Yeah.
start to put those things together. I picked up the other day, I was up in the attic and I remembered I had some baskets up there. I brought those down and I started to put the meals in the basket. Those things that were shelf stable that I knew I could put, I put those in the basket and pulled them out of the pantry. Now, of course, those things that have to stay closed are still either in the refrigerator or in the freezer. But Everything else is in the bucket. So then that way I know what I have and I
Mhm.
know what I need to pick up. So that's a good way of being able to look at it. And then when you're ready to prepare whatever it is, you just have to pick the basket up and everything's right there ready to go.
Now, I like that idea of having a little basket that has all the things in there for a certain ingredient. I really like that idea, but I'm kind of limited in space. Like when we bought this house, I thought I had a lot of kitchen space, and in actuality, I do. But to do some things like that, maybe I don't have as much space as I thought I had. But gathering the items that you're going to use for the holiday meal in one place is a very, very good idea. And I think one of the things that you typically remind us of too is not just for the main meal, but
Mhm.
especially if you've got people coming in to stay. Like my daughter and her family, when they come, they always make the famous green family omelets. So I got to have extra omelets, and then they serve those with hash browns.
Mhm.
They put a lot of cheese in them, bacon, and then her husband likes turkey bacon. We like regular bacon or
Mhm.
sausage. So you've got to have extra things for that. The green peppers and the onion and all those extra things that you use, those ingredients that help to flavor or make the meal,
Mhm.
those have to go on the shelf too, in addition to the spices.
Oh, yeah. Now we're going to be getting into those spices, especially when we talk about 2025, because as we're stocking our kitchens.
Mhm.
But definitely, if you find your favorite spices on sale, pick them up because this is a good time to be able to do that.
Mhm.
And especially spices that you would use for baking. If you bake, this is a great time to be able to purchase those now because they're probably on sale.
Mhm.
And later, they won't be. And so you might as well pick it up now. Now, also, um, one thing about putting the groceries together, I mean, I have even as much as used brown paper bags and put them in the garage because the garage is cold,
I
and I put
like
them
that
in
idea.
there, and then that way and I just label on the outside what particular meal it's for, and then that way everything's in there.
Now,
And
do you put the spices in there too, or just the main ingredients?
well, usually the spices are doing double duty with several things, so I
Mhm.
don't usually put the spices in, but I
Okay.
put the other major ingredients in, unless I have multiple, spices of whatever it is. But it's easy to be able to, and sometimes I'll even, especially if it's like a weeknight, your company's coming, you got a weeknight meal, you can staple the recipe right there onto that bag and
Ah,
you have everything right there. Pick that bag up, and you've got everything you need ready to go. And so that saves you a lot of time. So you've got your planning your meal early, planning those menus early. And that includes not just a holiday, but your weeknight meals, making that master grocery list, which is going to include all of your meals from
breakfast,
now.
lunch, dinner.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because I tell you, it's amazing. I know 2 packages of 18 eggs over Thanksgiving, and I just knew that was going to work. But guess what? I still ran out of eggs and had to go to the
Okay.
grocery store and pick them up. But by the time you finish cooking, you think you've counted well, but even at that, you may not. So we're going to take just a moment to welcome everyone. I see quite a few people are jumping on. If you're new to the show, I'm Leona Dooley, and this is Life of a Home Cook. We have Denise Jordan, my co-host, with me today, who is from Homemaking with Denise, and this is our annual holiday preparation that we do before Christmas. Now, we are planning to bring to you the best tips, tricks, and information on preparing for the holidays and 2025. Now, while you're here, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe, both of our subscribe buttons. I know we have already placed our information in the comment box so that you'll have it, as well as information for Apron Diva. And so be sure to give us a like and let us know what you like and what you'd like to hear, because we're all about making preparation for 2025. So we need to know, what are some of the things you want to know? So
Mhm.
share that with us. So while we're here, Denise, I'm going to pick up here with we've got Tiffany here. Hello. She said she appreciates this conversation so much. She said there's so much pressure to have the perfect Christmas, and it just isn't going to happen. Sometimes, Tiffany, you are absolutely right. And, I guess we really need to try to focus on what the true meaning of Christmas really is all about. And of course, that's Christ and our families. Now, Granville says he makes all of his Christmas gifts
Like that.
sewing, knitting, crocheting, making baskets, using things that he canned and preserved during the canning season. I'm impressed.
I am too.
Handmade gifts are much appreciated. Yes, they are. And I know, Granville, you're fairly new to the channel, but I know last year Miss Denise and I were making Christmas jam. And it was so funny. We had them fixed all in our jars. And I don't know if Miss Denise had any after Christmas, but by the time Christmas Day was over with, I didn't have any. I
I gave away quite a few, but I had some that I kept back for us because I wanted to have some jams and jellies and applesauce to last us throughout the year. And that chunky applesauce recipe that you gave was delicious. And we had some of that tonight for dinner.
did
So
you.
that's one of the ways, though, that I save money is that I do make my own homemade applesauce and then some jams and jellies so that I can either share some of those as gifts or have those things on our table. So yeah, I do that. So Gran, you're on to something right there.
He is. He is. And you know what? I saw that you used your onion jam
I
in the
did.
video. Oh, I bet that was so good.
Well,
I
one of the
hadn't
things
thought
I've been
about.
trying to do is use some of the things on my prep shelf because, first of all,
Mhm.
how do we know if we're going to like them if we get into hard times if we don't try them? And then, your prep shelf is meant to be used, but you're meant to rotate your things out. So, like tonight, we had mashed potatoes with
Mhm.
meatloaf. I had the
Mhm.
meatloaf that I made, and I got one out the freezer, and we had that for dinner tonight. And I used one of the packs of mashed potatoes because
Mhm.
it was getting up to the best by date
Mhm.
and we were out of fresh potatoes, so it just kind of worked out fine. So and then I used that onion jam in the meatloaf
Mhm.
and just kind of been trying like some of the shelf stable milk and other things that we've been picking up because if we don't like them, I don't want to stock up on a lot of it and then we don't care for it.
That's true. That's true. Now, I have used the shelf stable milk, and it really does work well with baking. Evelyn, glad to see you. Merry Christmas to you and
Yes,
to
Merry
all.
Christmas.
She said, may the Lord bless you and keep his blessings around you.
Please.
We have my blessed nest. She would love to see the decluttering videos. All right, all right. We'll work
Visit
on
us
it.
in January.
Yep, we'll be right here. Granville said he just finished making his 8 pepper jelly for gifts. Oh, that sounds
Now,
delicious.
pepper jelly, is it spicy? I wonder. Have you ever had pepper
Um, now the pepper jelly
jelly?
that I've had, I haven't made it. One I had was just a little sweet, but it did have a little bit of heat, but it's not like hot,
Mhm.
but it does have a little bit of heat.
More savory. Okay.
It's really good, and it is great to be placed over, like if you were having a quick appetizer, put it on the plate, put some cream cheese, and put the pepper jelly on top. Serve it with some crackers around it.
Oh,
Oh my goodness, it is so good, and it looks so
okay.
pretty. Farsi.
Oh, you know what,
Oh,
Leona? This
hi.
Jersey, this is a little girl. She's like 7 or 8 years old.
Oh,
And I met her in the airport during the airport apocalypse when we were all stuck there for a few
yes.
days. her mom, her brother, and her granddad, they were stuck there with us, and we just got to know each other. A
Oh,
little cinematographer. That little girl was making video, and she has her own little YouTube channel. So she's
oh my
amazing. She's
goodness.
only 8 years old, and she is amazing. So
Oh,
hello there,
that's wonderful.
Leona.
Hi. We are so glad now I have to check out your channel.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll
that's
send you the link.
okay. Okay. We got Carol with us, and she said we'd like to give friends homemade candy or jams for Christmas. Oh, that sounds wonderful. Now, Farcy is saying, Miss Denise, how are you?
I'm good.
That's good. Gramble said you tailor it to your liking. So I guess so the heat you can decide on how hot you want it or how sweet you want it or whatever. You can do that. Now Tiffany said the jams are such a good idea for gifts. And she said maybe she'll switch some of her gift ideas to do some jams. That sounds great. And
And
they
one thing you can suggest is tell them to save the jars and give them back to you, and then you can refill them the next year because those jars are expensive.
they are. Oh, we've got Take Me to Tammy's house. Hello, hello.
Hi,
We're glad to have you tonight. Glad you're here with us. All right. Well, Miss Janice, let's go on to tip number 2.
okay.
We're, you know, this is something that you and I have done for a very long time. We prepare meals at home.
Now I
It's
will admit, if I can, I do love to eat out, but
mhm,
as prices go higher, even eating out now, it costs more to do that. We do eat most of our meals at home. And even,
mhm,
for example, today when we had to take the kitty to the vet, we had to get there early because we were doing walk-ins, so we didn't have a
mhm,
chance to make breakfast before we
mhm.
left. And so when we were leaving, I said, let's go to the restaurant and just pick up breakfast. And he's like, no, he said, what we got at home? I'm like, well, we got eggs and bacon and, bread. I said, okay. So we came home and he made French toast and it was delicious. And it
Uh-huh.
was so much nicer to be able to
Mhm.
relax, be comfortable at home. And we'd already had stuff, we used stuff we had at home. So yes, eating at home certainly saves a lot of money.
It does. It really does. And it is great to be able to pull out your favorite go to recipes this month. For those daily meals, pull out the ones that you have fun with, the ones that are easy. The crock pot meals are something that's simple, or if you got a one pan uh,
Yes.
recipe you can put in the oven, pull those out.
Mhm.
This is a time to be able to do that since your focus is on getting ready for the holiday and maybe for shopping, whatever the case may be. And this is a time when there's a lot of concerts. The kids are having concerts, those who have children. And I know we're supposed to be going here and there, and it seems like it's something going on just about every night. And so with that, the meals that I'm preparing are those that are going to be quick, that I can put together, and easy to do.
Quick and easy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, tip number 3 is to prep ahead. Now, I noticed that, Miss Denise had her broth already made, and we try to make sure that we've done that. I know I like to chop all of my vegetables. I'll take a day and just literally chop vegetables. And it seems like it's the vegetable chop day. And so all the onions are chopped, the celery, the carrots, the peppers, whatever it is. I portion them out in little quart bags and they go in the freezer. And then that way, when I'm ready to cook, I don't have to stop and chop because they're already done.
Well, the nice thing about that, Leona, and I didn't used to do that. I started doing that after I learned that tip from you. But it's like when you have those in the freezer, you can just grab a handful, or if you need a cupful, you can just scoop
Mhm.
that out of your bag and then go ahead and stir fry it or do whatever it is you need to do to it. And it does save you time. It really does save you time. And it also creates less waste. Because I can't tell you how much celery I've had that either I had to pitch Or I said, okay, this celery is not good enough to cook with, so I used it for broth because it was starting to wilt just a little bit because I
Mhm.
let it sit in the fridge too long. But now that I'm learning to chop it up and put it in the freezer, it's good until I need it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the same goes with onions because it just it seems like onions just aren't lasting as long as they used to. I don't know,
Mhm.
maybe it's me, maybe it's the temperature of the house or whatever it is, but it seems like they go bad very quickly. And even trying to keep them in a cool, dry place. So those are some of the things that we have to think about as we're collecting our fresh items when we're
Mhm.
bringing them home from the grocery is to be able to stop and to prep. Also, you have an opportunity to put together like gravy mixes. You could put together stuffing mixes, or if you catch some of those items on sale. I know I caught a gravy mix, brown gravy mix on sale the other day in the packets, and I don't use them that often, but when I'm in a pinch and I
Mhm.
need it, I know I can go in the pantry and I can pop that out and put it together. Same with the stuffing mixes, that gives us an opportunity to do that. And whereas I'd far prefer a home baked from scratch cake,
Mhm.
occasionally I'm not ashamed to be able to pull out that box cake, do it with some butter and a little extra egg and the whole to do, and I'll put that together. But
Yes.
if you don't have them, you can't do it. So those are the types of things that you want to be able to prep and make sure that you have in your pantry. Get that pantry together. So,
Well, and the other thing too, though, gravy is so easy to make too.
mhm,
I mean,
mhm,
you really can make it pretty easy. All you need is a tablespoon of flour, a tablespoon of fat, which you can
mhm,
use butter for that, and then a
mhm.
cup of either broth or water. Stir it up, let it thicken, and then put in some
Some
drippings
seasoning.
of whatever it is, yeah, seasoning from whatever it is you need, and you've got gravy. And if
Mhm,
you're making it for chicken or beef or whatever, put in a little bit of that. So just
mhm,
think about trying to make that yourself uh,
mhm.
ahead of time, and it just works out.
Yeah, or if you make it, also, if you have any leftover, put it in
Freeze
those
it.
quart bags, seal it,
Mhm,
and put it in your refrigerator
mhm.
because or in your freezer because then you have it to be able to pop out and use very quickly. Now, tip number 4 is to make your own spice blends. And that is so nice. Now, my go-to spice blend is of course, my
Leona's house blend.
house seasoning, and it is used all the time.
I use your house seasoning a lot too, and I can't tell you how many people have said, "What is Miss Leona's house seasoning?" So I just put it in the link so they can go to your channel and find it.
Yep, I use that house seasoning all the time. And it's so convenient. And even if you're touching up something that what was it I pulled out? The big guy wanted something as simple as a can of vegetable soup. He likes Campbell's all vegetable soup.
Mhm.
And but he wants it touched up. So I have to sprinkle a little house seasoning in there, and give it a little extra zhuzh before I put it in the microwave for him. But spice seasonings, especially when you can put them together for yourself and you know what's in there, then you're going to use that often. And it's a
And
great
one
way.
other one that I
Mhm,
made, I did
mhm.
taco seasoning.
Yes.
'Cause, that's one like, we have tacos quite a bit, so I made my own
Mhm,
taco seasoning, and,
mhm,
taco seasoning, when you purchase it, it might only be about $1.50 to
mhm.
$2, but that's money you can put elsewhere, and then
Somewhere.
I did also make my own poultry seasoning, and
Mhm,
you can go online and find recipes for those, or
mhm,
you might even have one of those on your channel that we
mhm.
can get access to, but yeah, you're absolutely right, we can make our own seasoning, and every little dollar you save is a dollar that you can use to buy foods to go on your extended pantry.
Absolutely, absolutely. And chili seasoning, all those kind of things we're using right now. Your Italian blends. I mean, at this
Mhm.
point, I know Miss Denise has rosemary. I know you had basil, right?
Mhm.
And parsley, all those kind of things that once they're dried, you can put your own Italian blend together. She's got her taco blend ready to go. And in my case, it's an everyday blend that I use every day, literally. And so there are many home cooks who are right here with us tonight in the chat. And so share with us, tell us what particular spice blend do you use? It doesn't matter if it's one you purchase or if it's one that you've made. What are they? What are they? Now I see Granville is sharing here. Um, he's saying to make celery last longer in the refrigerator, to wrap it in parchment paper and then foil.
Oh,
Huh. Okay. I'll have to try that.
yeah.
And I hadn't tried that. Parchment paper and then foil. Did everybody hear that? All right. I know we're not the only ones that have celery that every now and then goes bad
Goes
before we can
bad.
fix it. I know. So share with us. Now, another tip. Tip number 5, bake from scratch. You don't have to be Martha Stewart.
Nope.
You don't have to be Martha Stewart. You can put together cookies, something as easy as chocolate chip cookies. And
Snickerdoodle.
yes, and you can either bake them off, make them fresh, and then freeze the cookies, or you can actually roll up the dough, put it into the parchment paper and into a Ziploc bag and put them in your freezer so
Mhm.
that you have your own slice and bake cookies. Or you can do what I was talking about. You can take a couple of boxes of cake mix and zhuzh it up and put together some type of dessert, or you can try a simple recipe because we haven't always been bakers. We
No, we have
you
not.
know we it was trial and error. And so for those who are young cooks and new cooks, today is the day. Start now. Bake.
And one of the things that I like to encourage my young homemakers, so which would be their young cooks to
Mhm,
do, is to figure out one dish and learn
mhm,
to make it well. A
mhm,
really simple holiday dish to start with could be peach cobbler. It could
mhm,
be homemade cranberry sauce.
mhm,
But it could be a simple like chocolate chip cookies, or it could be something as simple as a box cake that you're able to kind of like frost, like my not frost, but dust with confectioner's sugar. Like my
mhm,
granddaughter was making a cake
mhm,
for Thanksgiving, and she was so excited she's going to make a cake, and she had like a box of devil's food cake mix,
mhm,
and then she wanted to make the top of it look pretty. So I showed her how you could just put some confectioner's sugar in a
mhm,
sieve and just kind of shake it over the top just to give it a little bit of a zhuzhing up, just make it look
mhm,
pretty. And she
mhm,
was so excited. Now, it was a box case mix. It
mhm,
tasted delicious, but she's a young cook and she's just getting started. So
mhm,
simple little touches like that, which I know you're going to come to later. I shouldn't have said that
mhm.
soon.
That's okay.
But yeah, but just learn how to make some simple things early on and learn to do that well. And
Mhm.
you can add another dessert.
Yeah. And at this point too, I like that because you're attempting to uh, encourage her now while she's young, and she won't be hesitant when she comes into the kitchen. She'll
Mhm.
try new things along the way, and that's always great. Now, those of you who are in the chat, tell us what holiday dish or dessert that you like to prepare. What's your favorite dish that you like to cook? Now, for those of you who were late joining Life of a Home Cook, Denise and I are sharing with you our 10 best money and time saving tips for the holiday and for 2025. Now, be sure if you were late coming in to catch the replay because we probably covered some tips that you may not have been able to catch and you might have missed it. So don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you're not a member to our channel. And please, please, please share the video because that always helps us. We have the YouTube gurus who are out there and they're watching. And so we want them to know that you like the content along the way. Now, tip number 6, and this is a biggie. Use your freezer wisely.
Oh, yeah.
Use your freezer wisely. This is a time. And in fact, if you haven't already done it, then do it soon. Is to go in. I know I went in the other day. I started with the refrigerator, getting it all organized and cleaned out. And so now I've got to go out to the freezer and do likewise because I know there are going to be some things that I'm going to need to store in the freezer. And
Absolutely.
so, yes, you can prep your casseroles, your cookie doughs. I'm preparing soups to have for the winter, and even pie crust that we can prepare in advance, and we can just make sure everything's labeled and dated so that you'll be able to grab what you need when you need it, and it won't be a last minute.
Well,
Now,
and the other thing about labeling and dating things in your freezer, you may forget what's in that container.
mhm,
You think you're going to remember what's in there, but after a while, chicken noodle soup or harvest chicken bowl can both look alike when they're frozen and they're in a glass dish or a plastic freezer container. So labeling what it actually is very important. It could be chili, it could be vegetable beef soup. So
mhm.
again, you want to make sure you label it very well so that you know what is in there.
You are absolutely right. Because I pulled out a container the other day thinking it was chili, and it was actually spaghetti sauce. And I'm looking at it going, oh, that's not what I thought it was. And
And
so
you've already thawed it out.
I'd already thought it. So, there we go. So that changed the menu for that day. But, you're absolutely right. We have to make sure, even those of us who've been doing it for a long time, we get in a hurry and we pop things in that freezer very quickly. Now, Miss Denise is great about this, and I'm pretty good about it too, of not tossing our vegetable scraps because we try to make frequently, at least probably once a month, Denise, where we're making our broth.
Yes.
And we were even talking about making what's called a healthy broth, being able to not just the normal everyday kitchen chicken broth or beef broth or whatever it may be, but we want to make sure that we're putting things into the broth that are going to be very healthy for the body. Because as you know, for the winter, and
Mhm.
especially for those of us, now some of you have already been through the rough weather. You've had snow already on the ground. And I think Miss Denise is looking at 10 degrees coming up pretty soon.
Minus 10 degrees tonight.
Oh, minus 10 degrees. Oh,
Minus
that's
10
even
degrees.
worse. And so, but as we're looking at that, I noticed everybody's coughing, everybody's sneezing, everybody's got something, some gunk that's going on in their body. So the healthy broth is something that all of us need. So we want to
And
make
you know,
sure.
one of the things, because you were talking about that the other day when we were talking
Mhm,
about the healthy broth, and way back in the day when, like, I'm not sure when, I don't remember the time period, but
mhm,
people used to serve broth with breakfast or with a
mhm,
meal. They would get a cup of broth, especially
mhm,
some kind of a beef broth that
mhm,
would have some nourishments in it with
mhm,
their breakfast meal to kind of just help nourish the body, give them a little bit
mhm,
additional protein, that kind of thing. And I don't know where or when we stopped doing that.
mhm,
But in the wintertime, I'll give my husband a cup of tea every morning. And
mhm,
I'm thinking, I might try your healthy broth and see what happens. So I'll
mhm.
let you know how he likes it. But
Okay.
I'm going to try that healthy broth that you talk about.
Yeah, I mean, the healthy broth is not hard. It's something you can do in your crock pot, and you put it together, and you can just sip on it. But the thing about broth, and whether it's a special broth or whatever broth, or whether it's a hot tea, it does something as far as cleansing of the sinuses, and those
Mhm.
are things that our children need. So we want to make it such that they can use it as well as adults in the house can use it as well.
Mhm.
So let's keep our our broths going and keep them in our freezer because we're all about being budget friendly, right? Tip number 7, keep your daily and holiday meals simple. That's a key thing. Keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate your menus, especially your daily menus. I know we usually have some type of protein, we have something green, and we'll have a starch, maybe.
Mhm.
Or we'll have our, sometimes it'll be a protein and a large salad. And so, you may have two items or you may have three, but keep your menu simple and filling. As long as they taste good and there's plenty of it, everyone will go to bed with full tummies, and that's a good thing.
And that, I think you really said quite a bit there. And I hope everyone hears you when you said that keep your menu simple. Now for Thanksgiving and now for Christmas and Hanukkah or Kwanzaa, we might have this expansive meal. There may be some traditional foods you have associated with Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa, but
Mhm.
those meals can still be simple to a certain degree. We don't have to have 15 different things on the table. We can
Mhm.
have that, one or two meats, and we can have like some mashed potatoes or au gratin potatoes or some kind of a potato dish, some mac and cheese or some kind of greens, and maybe one or two desserts, and we
Mhm.
could finish it there. Or we don't have to do so many different pieces. And the less money you have, then the more frugal you should probably be for that holiday meal. Because really, when people leave your house at the end of the day, they're not going to say, well, you know what? She only had mashed potatoes and green beans or candied yams, and we just had turkey or we just had ham. No, they're going to go home talking about how good the food was and how much they enjoy the company and the conversation. They're going to
Absolutely.
enjoy the feeling that they got from gathering around the table and just being together. That's what they're going to remember, not
Mhm.
what you had on the table. So you really
Mhm.
want to take a look at um, keeping things simple, but cooked well, seasoned well.
Mhm. You do, as you keep it simple and as you, I don't want to say cut back, but as you lessen the amount of what you're preparing, that doesn't mean that the quantity, say for instance, if you've got 15 people coming, then you're not going to have an 8 by 8 of macaroni and cheese
Oh,
because
yeah.
that's not going to be enough. So you have to make sure that you have enough so that everyone is full and that they're satisfied with what they have. But if it's macaroni and cheese, green beans, and whatever the protein is, along with a roll, and it doesn't have to be a homemade roll, it can be one you got at the grocery store, whatever it is, but they're good and they taste wonderful and they're going to be excited. And whatever it is that you're going to do, whether you're singing songs or you're playing games around the table or you're telling stories around the table, the kids are running around like crazy, whatever it may be, you want them to leave happy and having a good feeling from coming from your house.
And
Now,
even if it's
mhm,
just going to be you and your family too, when you were talking about the kids running around and doing different
mhm,
things, you can do different things for your children's table or for your holiday table in general, just to make it festive and happy. And you don't have to spend a lot of money to do
no,
that either. You
no.
really don't. Just you can just do whatever different little touches you want to do. Maybe something a little different. Maybe it's you put a tablecloth on the table. Maybe it's something you don't normally do. And I know tablecloths are considered old fashioned these days, but maybe you decide, you know what, I'm going to get out this tablecloth and we're going to just kind of jazz the table up because it's our Christmas dinner. Or maybe
Mhm,
you've got some fancy placemats you want to use because it's Christmas dinner. The kids
mhm,
will be like, wow, we had this or we had that.
mhm,
And they don't care what's on the plate. They're just going to be
mhm,
excited that there was something there and there was a bunch of people there. Their cousins or other friends were over and they had a
mhm.
good time. So, yeah, it's how you make people feel that's going to be most important.
Absolutely. And I know you're the same as I am. When you look across the room
Mhm.
and everybody is talking, they're giggling, they're laughing, they're playing. Whoa, that
Yes,
is the best feeling
feeling.
ever.
Mhm.
That's the gift right there. That's your
Right
Christmas
there.
gift. That's it. And it leaves you with a wonderful feeling.
Mhm.
So to those of you who are home cooks, just keep that in mind. And the tablecloth, you're gonna laugh. I had put a tablecloth on the table where I am right now. And it was so funny because when last Sunday, a couple of people stopped by and they went, "Wow, your table looks so pretty. And oh my goodness, you have a tablecloth on." And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, there's a hole in it, but you can't see it. Hopefully you won't. But it's just that it looked like it was really special, but it
Mhm.
wasn't. It wasn't.
Mhm.
I had put it on the table just to add a little color,
Mhm.
and to pick it up. But it's amazing, the small things. It's all about the
Yes.
small things. So that goes back to our meals of keeping both the daily and your holiday meals simple. Keep them simple, not to overcomplicate it. Roasted vegetables. We've had those for Christmas now probably 3 years in a row, of where literally 30 minutes before everybody has walked in, we've put little baby potatoes and carrots and celery and what else was it? It was something else we had on the tray. But we had even Brussels sprouts and
Mhm.
we had seasoned them, put those in. You would have thought we had cooked all day, the way everybody raved over the roasted vegetables, because they could smell them coming out of the oven as they walked in. And so those are things that are simple, that we can do, that we can put together and have for the family. Now, another thing, use your kitchen tools. This is a time, if you got kitchen tools, this is a time to use them. Bring them out. Don't think, oh, well, I guess I shouldn't use them. What'd you get it for?
Mhm.
You know, use them. Tip number 8, use those tools. Now, tip number 9 is a biggie. Get the family involved in the kitchen.
Definitely. And one of the things that I do, like I encourage my homemakers that everyone helps with the after dinner cleanup. So
Mhm.
dad, mom, and all the kids can do something to help with the after dinner cleanup, and it just goes that much quicker. But then I know you like to have the kids in the kitchen also to help with like cookie baking and things
Mhm.
like that.
And they like to cook. They will come in and they love to be in the kitchen. Whatever it is that I'm doing, they want to be right in the middle of it. And
Mhm.
it at this point, they have no problem with coming in. If I say, "Oh, the so and so's in there, get the such and such and such and such," they can come in. They know where it is. They can do whatever needs to be done, and they're of age to be able to do that. I have to
Mhm.
put it that way. But you want to make your family comfortable in your kitchen,
Yeah.
because I tell you, something happened, Denise, a few years ago. I got sick just before Christmas. And while I had already done all the grocery shopping, had everything here, but physically, I was not able to do it. And so I had to depend on the family to get it done. And you
Mhm.
know what? They certainly did. They came in the kitchen, and with the exception of a couple of times when I had to say, "Oh, the so and so is here," they were able to come in and to put that Christmas dinner together. And I felt so good, because then I felt like I had
You
accomplished
taught them
something.
that you had accomplished that, but
Yes,
also it showed you what they can do when they needed to. And I'm sure they felt good about being able to help you out by taking care of that dinner. I think one
absolutely.
of the things I was thinking about when you were talking about using your particular kitchen tools is that I got a new turkey roaster from a friend, and it's going to be so nice to have like that turkey roaster on the counter. So while the turkey is roasting, I can have things in the oven while the turkey's roasting. So I'm not tying up all of my oven space with that turkey. So I can make things ahead earlier in the day, or, and like you said, pull those roasted vegetables out maybe half an hour before dinner. Well, now half an hour before dinner, I can have my dinner rolls in the oven or different little things like that. I could be warming up the mac and cheese or whatever because I've got someplace else to put that turkey. So using those appliances are good, as well as using your air fryers for some of those things.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
Don't forget those. Most people have an air fryer today. So
I know. Now, you've got some compliments going out here, Miss
What?
Denise.
Oh,
Everybody's
absolutely.
complimenting your hair. They think it's
Hello.
absolutely beautiful, and it is.
Here. Hey, La Sharika.
Aw.
These are my ladies from another group I'm in.
Oh, how nice.
Thank
So
you for
glad to
joining us.
see you.
You guys hear me talk about Miss Leona all the time, so now you get to see her. Thank you.
Doggone said hello again. He's popping in now and then, and thank you and for the welcome. Nice enough said that I'm not sure if it's a he or she, but nice enough said that they like a cornbread chicken pot pie. Now I haven't tried that.
No, I'm wondering if they mean that's something they make ahead, or if it's a cornbread chicken pot. They'll
they
have to tell us.
Yeah, you'll have to let us know. Can we do this in advance, or is that something that that's just something that you like to? That's one of your favorite meals.
The chicken pot pie filling, if you've got it on the bottom, you could pour a cornbread on top.
Cornbread on top. That would be awfully good.
That might be good. Let us
Hmm.
know which it is.
Yeah, well, that might be a new recipe. Granville said that he likes the bouche de Noël. Oh, they are beautiful. A coconut cake with a pineapple filling.
Ooh.
Granville, you must do an awful lot of cooking. Oh my goodness. An Italian cream cake. Ah, that is so good. My mouth is watering. And an eggnog cake. Oh, all of that is delicious, and certainly would be fantastic on the Christmas table. Kim said her favorite holiday dishes to prepare are mac and cheese and collard greens. Absolutely, every Thanksgiving and Christmas, those are the two items on our table.
Absolutely.
Granville said you can also pressure can your broths and stock instead of freezing them to free up space in your freezer.
I was just looking at a couple of videos and doing some reading about pressure canning broth because you've got the protein in it, so you can pressure can it. I've not tried it, but I have thought about it because in the spring and summer, I have to fight with the hubby over freezer space.
Yeah.
He's got his own little freezer to put his fish in, but I will admit I got a few chickens in there. So then he wants to put all these little, they're like ice packs, but he puts in his cooler when he's going fishing. He puts them in the freezer on the door where I like to put my little ball plastic jars of broth on the door. So right now we don't have that problem because it's not fishing season. Yeah, pressure canning the broth.
Pressure canning. Oh, that's a great idea.
I've only pressure canned a couple of things, so I'm still a novice at that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to play with that one. I'm gonna have to play with that. La Sharika said she loves a cute tablecloth. Absolutely, I like them too.
I do too. You know, they just make things look so festive, and it's not something we do every day. We do put a placemat on the table every day because I have a wooden table in my kitchen. But a tablecloth, it just dresses things up. And I know Clutterbug talked about those are one of the things you could declutter because they're old fashioned. I like them. I just think they make things pretty.
I do too, and I have a couple that are my mom's, and so. They go to the cleaners. I don't even wash and iron them. They go to the cleaners. They get special treatment, and they come out for special occasions. But then I have those that I purchase myself. But I love a tablecloth.
Well, I did a video short on how to get the stain out of your favorite tablecloth. If you recall, when we made those pies, I dumped pumpkin puree on my tablecloth. I was like,
oh no.
So I had to give that a good scrub. So I thought, well, this is going to be a teaching tool. I might as well make a short out of it.
Okay, well,
And this is Carol.
Oh, all right. I love you. She says that she loves using seasonal tablecloths and seasonal paper napkins. Me too.
Mhm.
And it's a simple touch. You are absolutely right. And I have to admit, for the holiday, I had gotten into cloth napkins, the cloth seasonal cloth napkins, but under normal circumstances, I'm all about a pretty paper napkin and dressing up that table. I
Mhm.
do. I love them. Now, Miss J is here with us. Hello, hello. We've got Debbie's Kitchen. We're glad that you're here
Debbie.
with us.
Leona, you'll have to go back to Debbie for a second.
Uh-huh.
You'll have to check out her channel. I've been over there a couple of times. She's got a nice little channel going on over there. She's coming along
Oh,
to show her some love.
okay. Everybody hear that? I'm going to
Hmm.
go and you all can go with me.
Hmm. And then Carol at My Blessed Nest, she
Mhm.
likes to do thrifting things. She has
Yes,
good ideas with how to use those things. So,
I like that too. Carol is saying, let's see, that she loves teaching her grandkids how to make homemade pizza and homemade waffles. Oh, and they love it. I know they do. It's funny how grandkids, whatever grandmother's doing, they want to be in the middle of it.
that's
It's
right.
like Denise has a blooming star that's coming up that she wants to be on videos.
Oh,
So
yes, my little daughter. She's like, I did a video with her once, and then she was like, "Where's that video that we did?" And I couldn't find it. I tried to find it on my YouTube channel, and it was so long ago, I couldn't find it. She was been about 4. She's 6 now. She says, "Well, let's do another one. Let's go in the kitchen. We can do one right now." I'm like, "Well, we can't do a video right now. I'm gonna have to bring her over and like have her in the kitchen with me so that she can do a video." She's 6.
aw.
She
Now,
wants to do a
nice
video.
enough.
Mhm.
Oh, nice enough is a she. Okay. All right. That's good to know. And
Look at that. Beware of, don't forget about the dog. Beware of the owner.
um, Shannon Cox is with us tonight. And Debbie's Kitchen said that sounds good. She said she's going to also try that cornbread chicken pot pie. It does sound awfully good.
Mhm.
Nice enough. It says you could cook the filling in advance. She says she
Oh.
wouldn't do the cornbread ahead of time, and it is her go-to dish. Okay, she's a miss. All right, all
Well, what
right.
is your name, nice enough? Let us know that too.
Yeah,
So we don't
so
have to
we
call
can
you
call
Miss
you by
Johnson.
name rather than she and her.
Yeah.
But cook the filling in advance. Okay, and then put the cornbread on top, I guess.
Almost
All
like
right.
a shepherd's pie, but instead of mashed potatoes, you've got cornbread on
The
top.
cornbread on top.
Okay, that's good.
So you start the filling first,
Mm-hmm.
and then I guess at the last put the cornbread topping on top and
Yeah,
let
so
it
you can probably
finish
make the filling in advance, have it in the freezer or have it in the fridge,
out.
but then
Mm-hmm.
make the cornbread just before you get ready to use it, and then
Mm-hmm.
just have the filling in your dish, and then just pour the
And
cornbread on
pour it
top,
on
spread
top.
it, and then bake it up. That sounds
Oh, that
good.
would be great.
And that sounds like one of those kind of meals that they might have had to really stretch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She
Oh,
said she got the recipe from an episode from Oprah,
okay, I'm gonna write
her
that down.
Oprah show back in the day. All right, we're going to have to check out Oprah and see if we can find that. But that sounds delicious. Take Me to Tammy's House says she loves tablecloths and table linens. I do too. I do too. But they have gotten so expensive.
I know.
Uh, she's sharing with Debbie's Kitchen that it really is delicious. That pot pie with the cornbread. Hazel Jones. Well, hello, Hazel. She said she loves her tablecloths and linens, and she says she got the love of tablecloths and linens from her grandmother.
Mm.
Yeah, back in the day, they were all about their tablecloths, and you didn't mess up those tablecloths. You didn't play on them. Let's see. Uh,
Oh,
here it is. Nice enough said to put the cornbread on the top and the bottom.
so put a layer of cornbread. and then
Mhm.
pour the filling in, and then another layer of cornbread on
On
top.
top.
Mm.
Ah,
We'll have to try that.
I know. We couldn't do that as a make-ahead dish, but that would be an awfully good dish if you knew you had an extra couple or somebody coming in. That'd
Mhm.
be a fun dish to do.
Mhm. Mhm.
Granville said he has a large collection of antique table linens, and to iron them, he has a rotary iron.
Oh.
Wow. Also known as a mangle. Wow, Granville. You
Mm.
you got stuff. I don't have that, but I will take it and have it done because my mom hand crocheted, and she crocheted a lot of her tablecloths. So
Oh.
she's got all this crocheting around it with all the little intricate designs on the outside. Really pretty, but I try not to use them very often because I'm afraid something will happen to it. I'll be like the pumpkin pie mix.
Ah, yeah.
Um, Shannon said the cornbread pot pie kind of sounds like a tamale pie.
It does. Now that I think about it, it does.
Hmm.
Because with a tamale pie, they've got that kind of cornbread
Mm-hmm.
filling there. So okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. Now we're actually on tip number 10. Get creative with your leftovers. Now, we talk about leftovers all the time. And, the nice thing is some of us are leftover people. We're okay with it. And some of us aren't. And I'm going to tell you my secret because the big guy's not a leftover person. But what I will do is that I will split whatever it is. And when I bring it back the second time, I will do something different with it so that it doesn't look like whatever it was the first time. And I know Miss Denise is good at that too. I know she fixed two um, meatloaves,
Well,
and
yes.
I usually if I'm going to make a meatloaf, I'm going to do probably two as well. And that gives you the option of being able to have one for that meal and then wrapping it up, putting that second one up, and you can pull it out whenever you want to for a second meal.
Well, and here's the thing when you talk about getting creative with your leftovers. So, everybody for Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas dinner, they're going to get that turkey out and they're going to have the turkey and the dressing and whatever you have for Christmas dinner the next day.
Mhm.
But you can get a little creative. Like one of the things that I made after Thanksgiving dinner was a turkey Manhattan. And I filmed the video, but I didn't get a chance to put it up before I
Mhm.
left. So I'll try to get that done within the next week or so because people will be having turkey again for Christmas dinner.
Mhm.
But it's like you take that slice of bread and put it on the plate, and then you take the slices of turkey or ham and
Mhm.
put it on top of the bread. And then you put a layer of mashed potatoes, if it's turkey, a mashed potato, the turkey, the mashed potatoes, the gravy, and then it's all warm, and you just eat it like an open faced sandwich, and they call it a turkey
Mhm.
Manhattan. If it's ham, you could put the ham on the bread with your cornbread dressing, maybe a little bit of cranberry sauce on top, and you may or may not have gravy on top of that. I don't like gravy
Mhm.
on my ham, but
Mm-mm.
so there's ways you can do that, or you could do turkey pot pie, turkey noodle soup,
Mhm.
turkey in all different kinds of ways that you
Oh
can
yeah.
make that. So you can make those leftovers go a long way. And like you said, bring them out and looking a little bit different. So tonight we had a second meatloaf, like the meatloaf that I made last week when I made two. I got the other one out of the freezer tonight and made another cup of the topping to go on top. So I
Mhm.
had fresh topping to put on top of it once it went in the oven. All I had to do was just thaw it out and let
Mhm.
it warm up because it was already cooked. Made some more mashed potatoes, and then hubby
Mhm.
made some fried okra with mushrooms, and that was our side dish. And then some of your chunky applesauce, and it was a quick dinner.
I see Shannon said in that turkey realm, you can have the turkey salad. I
Yes.
love turkey salad.
Mhm.
And we used to have after Christmas, we almost always had turkey salad on New Year's. because you always had the extra turkey anyway. So
Yeah.
we would usually pull out the turkey salad. Now, Debbie's sharing with us, she said she found the cornbread pot pie on Google, and there are various ways to avoid the soggy bottom problem. And she said you can do that by pre-baking, and just like you blind bake your pie crust, you
Hmm.
can blind bake the bottom crust of cornbread before you put the filling in, and then adding the top crust. And she said you can also brush the bottom of the crust with egg wash before filling, and bake your pot pie on the lowest rack in the oven at a high temperature to keep it from getting soggy. That sounds delicious. And
It
you know, Debbie, I might have to try that in the next week or so, because that sounds so good. We love cornbread anyway.
I wrote it down on my notes so that I can remember to try it.
Yeah, yeah. Now, here's the question. Which of these 10 tips are you going to try first? And think about it. Think about it and share with us in the comments. Be sure as you're going through and you're thinking about the holidays, and they're coming up on us really quick. Save on your decor. You want to save on any extras. You want to we're talking about expense here. Skip the expensive table decor. Use what you already have.
Or
If
what you can find
or
outside.
what you can absolutely find on sale. You may be able to find, if you're lucky enough to have pine cones, you might have some candles that you can put out on the table. You can add a little greenery, and you can put together a beautiful centerpiece without spending a dime. And think about this, for the day of the actual holiday, you may be able to make a festive drink. And
Hmm.
so I know Denise likes to do wassail.
Make
Uh,
wassail.
I usually do, I like a cranberry lemonade that the kids like. Sometimes it's as simple as iced tea, and sometimes it's plain lemonade. But those are drinks that you can make, and you don't have to go out and buy all the soft drinks and whatever else to go.
Right.
Those are ways that we can save. And so um, we've got Sweet Tea is coming in. She said she's just joining in. Well, Sweet Tea, I hope that you will certainly go back and catch the replay so that you can get in on all of the tips.
Yes, welcome.
We are glad that you're here. Take me to Tammy's house. She said she's really trying to use her freezer more. She said she froze her leftover dressing from Thanksgiving this
Oh,
time.
that's perfect. And Tammy, I think, is usually at church on Wednesday night. So we're lucky she was able to get away and join us tonight.
Yeah, we're glad you're here. My blessed nest, she said, I love making a crock pot of soup and serving for dinner, and then putting a couple of days of soup in the fridge for lunches for she and her mom. She said then she freezes the remaining in individual servings for a quick lunch. I've got soup in there now that I made. I've made each day a crock pot of a different soup, because I'm trying to build up some soups to have on
Mhm.
hand to be able to have for lunches.
We
Great
have,
idea.
I made vegetable beef soup the other day, and
Mhm,
I put them in the Rubbermaid Brilliance, like 4-cup containers, froze it in
mhm,
that. But then I also froze some in some of the small 2-cup containers, like the individual serving size,
mhm.
so that if I just wanted some soup and he wanted to have fish for lunch, then I could just grab out a carton, that container of soup, and thaw that out. And it just saves so much money.
It
It really
does.
does, because then we can eat things that we've made at home.
And actually, it's healthier for you because you know what's in it. Debbie said that she grew up on leftovers, so it doesn't bother her. She said at times her mom would make something else with it, like turkey and dumplings or mashed
Ooh.
potatoes. Turkey and dumplings.
Why did I
Um,
think it's turkey and dumplings? Because we do chicken and dumplings.
Yeah, yeah. And here's what we were talking about the other day, taking the mashed potatoes and making the potato cakes. We were
Mhm.
talking about that the other day. And Hazel Jones said she shops for Christmas decorations after New Year's when everything's 75% off. And that's a
Boom.
great time. That is a great time. Shannon said that she mixes cranberry juice with apple cider, and that is very good.
Oh,
And
that would be.
that would be delicious. That sounds great too.
And here's the thing too, Leona, with these kind of special holiday drinks, they're
Mhm,
not expensive, but
mhm,
they're special. They're
mhm,
festive. And you probably only do it once or twice a year. So when
mhm,
you bring that out, people are like, oh, this is the cranberry cider. So they're
mhm.
excited because they know it's special for the holiday. And they gotta wait till the next holiday season for them to get
Just
it
see it
again.
again. And you're absolutely right. Shannon says she mixes, was that the one? Yes. Um,
Hmm.
Take me to Tammy's house. She says she is usually at church and on Wednesday night.
Hmm.
So, yes. So we are uh, glad to have all of you here with us tonight. Now, our focus tonight, as you know, was on our 10 best tips to save both time and money in the holiday kitchen. And we are asking that you will tune in next Wednesday because you notice the title said that we were going to talk about the holiday and 2025. But we took a whole hour to talk about the holiday. So
Yes.
we're going to need to talk about 2025 because there are some things that we're going to need to do that are totally different from what we would do for the holiday. We're going to be bringing up in. So tune in next Wednesday, same time, same station, and we're going to talk about those time saving and money saving tips that you're going to want to do in 2025. You aren't going to want to miss a moment. Bring your notebook, bring whatever you have with you, bring your ideas with you, because we're going to sit down and share. You know, we want to be able to get 2025 off to a wonderful start.
Mhm.
And not only, you know, we're not just about ourselves. We're a community. So
Yes.
we are sharing that information together. So we're hoping that you will be with us and that you will join us next week 7:45. And next week is will be Denise will be our host, and so she will be sharing with us and keeping us going and giving us all the great information.
And don't forget, too, as we move into 2025, one of the things that I try to do during the regular part of the year is every other week. And then the off weeks that I'm not doing my show, you're going to be doing your show. Is that correct?
Yes, yes. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. I've got somebody I need to. Oh, Denise, uh, you have someone that we may want to take off.
Let me see.
Okay, down toward the bottom. Uh, Debbie, we're so glad that you were here with us today, as well as everyone. Thank you. Um, I'm glad that you enjoyed the lives. We're looking forward to being right here with you. You know, the holidays are here and we're going to get through them together.
Hmm.
So, Denise, any closing thoughts and words?
No, I just want you guys to be sure and join us and come on out and support as we move into 2025. Leona and I will be on every other week. One week it'll be her, the other
Mhm,
week it'll be me. That way we can just kind of cozy into things. And then we're going to both be doing some decluttering next year. So be sure to tune in for that. And
mhm.
we really appreciate the support you guys have been giving us for our collabs when we do the holiday season. We get to doing all those things together. People just come to expect us to do these holiday shows together, and I enjoy it. So thank you for joining us, and be sure to come and see us again.
Absolutely. We hope that you have an absolutely blessed week. And for those of you who are new, please be sure to come back next week. And our tried and true tribe will be looking for you right here. and at the home of Ebony, Ivy, and Thyme, and Homemaking with Denise. So we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.